You know, I listen to probably right wing talk radio just as much as these people on the right that listens to right wing talk radio. Call it self abuse. But something tells me I gotta listen to what they have to say. And whether it's Rush Limbaugh, I will listen to him for a few minutes every day, or Sean Hannity, or Glenn Beck, just because they're so partisan and so predictable. But still, I listen to them because I do need ammo as far as talking points to kind of refute all the um, all the right wing talking points that comes up out there. I mean, thank goodness there is productive time. I can listen to sane voices like Kyle Kalinske or Jimmy Dore or Crystal Ball or Nico House because what they have to say and what the right wing media has to say, I mean, is it just makes me wonder how the hell we are an extremely right of center country at the end of the day because a lot of these right wing talking points can be refuted. I was on my way back from work this morning and I did my workout. I'm working out again and found a gym where I can kind of do my workouts now. So I got to repair the damage of months of neglect from not working out and liking to eat too much. But anyway, on the way home, I was listening to Glenn Beck, and he was talking about the presumptive Democratic nominee, Joe Biden. And he's under the delusion that Joe Biden, for what I could tell, it was just a few minutes. And today's July the 6th, so you can track it down as you go through the trouble listening to his show. But was listening to the show, and basically he was lumping Joe Biden as a continuation of Obama, as if both Obama and Biden are radical. We went through two terms of Barack Obama, two terms. I didn't see the transformation that he likes to use so much. I'm talking about Glenn Beck. I wish there would have been a damn transformation, but I didn't see that transformation. What I saw out of Barack Obama was a continuation of the Bush Cheney years, maybe a slightly more socially liberal version of Bush and Cheney, but it was still Bush and Cheney and its continuation. That offends me. And any progressive with a clear thinking head should be as offended and outraged by it too. And Glenn Beck has more reason to be happy about Barack Obama than I ever could be. But he likes to use the term transformation in a negative light. I'm talking about Glenn Beck. So he's claiming that Joe Biden is surrounded by radical leftists, and that because he's in such cognitive decline, if he becomes president, that the radical left, which Obama is supposedly part of, all his henchmen will be all around trying to further the quote unquote agenda once again. Yeah, but it's not true, Glenn. It is not true. Barack Obama was basically, you know, George W. Bush, just a third and a fourth term of George W. Bush. I don't know why you can't get that. Um, and I mean, watching Fox Business, I mean, they were claiming that Joe Biden is not really in charge of the Democratic Party. Is is Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Again, Elizabeth Warren ain't as far left as Glenn Beck and Fox Business claim that she is. And as for Bernie Sanders, they're trying to make it out like he's some radical Marxist Leninist um, revolutionary, for which he's not. I have to keep saying this and saying it over and over again because what I'm saying is the truth, but for some damn reason, people can't get it through their thick skulls. Bernie Sanders is hardly a radical. He's, I mean, if you think being a member of the Swedish Social Democratic Party or being a member of the British Labour Party or being a member of the French Socialist Party is an act of radicalism, then I guess it's true Bernie Sanders would be considered a radical by such metrics. But here's the thing, those parties over there or up at our neighbor up north in Canada, the New Democratic Party of Canada, they are not radical parties. They are center left parties. Bernie Sanders' politics on a global level, especially on par with the global West, he would be considered very much a centrist. Glenn Beck, the problem isn't Bernie Sanders. The problem is people like you. You shifted the country too far right. Bernie Sanders and people like Bernie Sanders is what we really need this day and age. How in the world you think the way you do is beyond me. But transformation, Glenn, why is it such a bad thing? Transforming is a good thing. It's a soundbite, but it's a good thing. You can transform. When when the 13 colonies decided they had enough of King George, that was transformational. Created the United States, a country that's supposed to be based on equality and freedom, which still haven't quite got there yet in a lot of ways, but it was an experiment. I'm not a cultural relativist, so yes, while I'm not the biggest patriot in the world, I don't necessarily think creating the United States was so negative. But what was negative about the United States needed to be corrected. Slavery was a problem. And you know what? When Lincoln came along and when the Republican Party was created in the mid 19th century, when it was actually a left wing political party, it was transformational to abolish the institution of slavery. I mean, and then speed forward to the 1930s when capitalism proved to be the failure it is. And I don't mean like laissez-faire free enterprise capitalism, but capitalism when people who are already on top want to maintain their power and doing everything they can to keep the others from joining in the prosperity. The New Deal came along, FDR's New Deal, and I make no apologies for this. Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal did not go far enough, but it did go far. It did go so far that it did defeat the Great Depression. You can get your David Barton and his silly self to sit there and tell everybody why people like myself is wrong, but I'm sorry. The New Deal, and I'm not sorry, I'm correct. The New Deal defeated the Great Depression, creating jobs for the unemployed, taking our infrastructure, modernizing it. I mean, and if you want to say that World War II was what got us out of the Great Depression, there is an element of truth to it. But you know what? We had an infrastructure that was functioning well and in great shape, and World War II, the manufacturing base became more efficient because of FDR's New Deal. That was transformational. FDR's New Deal was transformational for America. Please, can we have some more of that? Honestly. Um, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, Civil Rights Act of 64, Civil Rights Act of 1965. Uh, all this that kind of led toward racial equality. That was transformational. And Glenn, unlike Rush Limbaugh, who is a racist, I know you're not. I know you're not a racist, and I know you're glad that there's racial equality. But you know what? That was transformative. Um, I didn't vote for Barack Obama in 2008 or 2012 because he wasn't left wing enough for me. I'm one of those people that like to give my vote to people like Ralph Nader. I haven't voted a third part for a Democrat for president since 1992, when I unfortunately voted for Bill Clinton. But the thing about it is, Barack Obama becoming the first African American president, that in itself was transformational. It was a good thing. I just wish that Barack Obama would govern more like FDR, and a hell of a lot less like George W. Bush. That was the problem I had with Barack Obama, and he had an opportunity to do healthcare correctly, which would have been transformational. Not taking that shabby Heritage Foundation plan that Mitt Romney enacted in Massachusetts, and Barack Obama decided to be bipartisan and wanted to be a conciliator and adopt the Romney Care Plan, when that was a piece of crap, because private health insurance is a murderous institution. The truth death panels that Sarah Palin talks about, death panels, we already got them. They exist. They're called private health insurance companies. If he wanted to be transformational, we would have enacted a single payer Medicare for all system. And frankly, Medicare for all that kind of exists in Canada and places like Australia don't go far enough. I mean, for me, I pretty much tell people right up front what I favor, and that is a UK style National Health Service. Glenn Beck, I hope you're listening. I favor a UK style National Health Service. And all you right wingers out there, I don't want to play patty cake with big pharma and play patty cake with private health insurance anymore. Those days are gone. I want a national health service the way they have it in Great Britain. That would be transformational. We had an opportunity to go transformational this year with Bernie Sanders. But you know what? The corporate Democrats are basically nothing more than rhino Republicans who are pro-choice and pro-gay marriage. That's the only difference between a corporate Democrat and a middle-of-the-road Republican. Again, cheated Bernie Sanders out of the nomination in 2020, as they did in 2016. I resent the fact that Joe Biden is the nominee, because Joe Biden has been pretty much, in the words of Kyle Kalinske, he says it a lot, Joe Biden is basically a moderate Republican. His voting record shows it in the past. And if you're going to sit there and call Joe Biden a socialist, just as you call Barack Obama a socialist, just as you call Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, or anybody who's a freaking Democrat, you call them a socialist, I am deeply insulted. As a socialist, I am deeply insulted. How dare you? How dare you take a good term like socialism and lump it in with corporate Democrats like Bill and Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, who actually are more cooperative with your vision of America than they are of mine. Transformation we need. We need transformation. And especially post World War II, Western Europe, that's the kind of transformation we need. The kind that that labor parties, like the Labor Party of Great Britain after World War II, like the Swedish Social Democratic Party in the 1930s, like the French Socialist Party in the 1980s. That is the kind of transformation we need in this country. So, you can believe what you want to believe, but you know what? We need transformation. We need transforming this country from the piece of crap ideology that is the Republican Party today, that you pretty much push for. You, Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, um, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, all of y'all, sorry people for pursuing policies that created income inequality, for embracing a foreign policy that actually emboldened radical fundamentalist Muslims halfway across the globe, and made them more hostile toward the West. These wars that you have supported in the past, well, you did finally go around saying the Iraq war was a mistake. I guess that's progress. Transformation we need. We need a transformation of our economy. Yes. No, I don't favor Cuba. I don't favor North Korea or China or places like that. I don't say that as a defensive measure. I say that because that's not who I am. I am a democratic socialist. Some people used to turn social democrat. I am comfortable with either term. It's transformational. We need it. And really, that is a true American first policy in a very progressive way, not the way that Trump used the term America first, or Charles Lindbergh back in 1940 used the term America first. I'm Bernie Bro. If you like what you heard today, feel free to subscribe, um, press like, share, tell everybody about this channel, about this platform. And the more you subscribe, the more you like, you can overcome, hopefully, the algorithms that makes the alternative media, alternative voices, pretty much unheard in the wilderness of a right of center news culture and media culture in the United States. So feel free to like, subscribe, share, and tell everybody about this channel. I'm Bernie Bro.